What's up with it, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Raider Honcho, and I'm back with a brand new video for you. Alright guys, get right into it. You could probably already see, you could probably already tell and hear that your boy's under the weather, been sick for a few days now, but listen, can't breathe, can't hardly talk, but we're gonna get through this. We're gonna do what we got to do, because I got to give the people what the people need. Not always what the people want, but it's what the people need. Now, I want to address the fact that I posted a tweet yesterday talking about the players tanking, coaches tanking, Raiders tanking. This has been a bunch of tank talk, and everybody's all up in arms because the Raiders are winning meaningless games. I agree, they are meaningless games, but the tweet I posted yesterday said, yes, although I would like a higher draft pick, I cannot be mad at players and coaches that are going out there and playing hard and coaching hard when they get paid to do that. Now, that does not mean that I'm saying I want the Raiders to win all the meaningless games and who cares about the future and we never need a new quarterback and none of those other things. Y'all have got to stop. Y'all got to stop getting on social media with your narrow-mindedness and your own perspective and think that anybody who has an opposite opinion or an opposite perspective of yours just doesn't want to see the Raiders succeed, just doesn't want to believe in the future of the Raiders, or don't want the best things for the Raiders, or that they were not Raider fans at all in general. Like, you got to stop doing that. We are not all from the same place. We don't all have the same education. We don't all have the same experiences. So I'm allowed to have an opposite perspective of you and still want the same end goal as you. How we get there is totally different. That's fine. Like, if we all want the Raiders to be good in 10 years or for the next 10 years, great. It doesn't mean we have to agree on how they get there. Now, when you talk about tanking, these are my thoughts on tanking. First of all, as a competitor, I would never try to lose on purpose. Ever. No matter what is on the other side, because usually what's on the other side is not guaranteed anyway. That's like being in a football tournament, a basketball tournament, and we're going to lose the first game on purpose, so we go to the losers bracket, and then from the losers bracket we can make it to the championship, and we will never have to play the best team into the championship. It's not guaranteed. You can still lose in the losers bracket. So we never go out there in competitive sports and say, look, I'm going to lose on purpose to try to gain an advantage later on, when later on is not guaranteed anyway. The Raiders could go out there and lose every game on purpose. Doesn't mean we're going to be a better team next year. And for some of y'all to think that that's the only way we can get better is by having a top 5 pick, when everything in Raiders history have told us that a top 5 pick does not guarantee us anything, but a top 5 pick, and how it plays out is not in our control. Like, we got to stop tripping off that. Nothing is guaranteed. Now, my second point to that is, if you're paying me to do a job, don't get mad at me doing the job to the best of my abilities, period. If I burn my house down, because if I set my house on fire because I want it to burn down to the ground, but I call the fire department, I can't be mad at them for coming and putting the fire out before the house burns down. It was their job to do that. I shouldn't have called them. So my point being is that don't be mad at the players for going out there and playing hard and doing what they're supposed to do when you put them on the field. If an organization is really trying to tank, they will just put every good player on the injury list, and they won't play the good players. The NBA does it all the time. They won't play the good players. But you got to stop being mad at the players on the field for doing their job. Okay, AP, he probably not going to be with us next year. I can't be mad at AP for going out there and coaching his ass off, or trying to coach his ass off because he's auditioning for a job next year. This is how they eat. This is how they feed their families. How can I be mad at that? I can be disappointed in the fact that, damn, because they're doing a better job, we don't get the pick we wanted. But I can look further than that. I can look beyond that and say this is real life. Like, this is not a video game, right? So when you talk about players being out there, how does it look for you to tell a player who only is going to get paid based off what he puts on film that he shouldn't go out there and be playing hard? How does that make sense? The Raiders are going to be here long after the players on this roster. They were here long before the players on this roster. So for these players on this current roster to be able to have success later on and be able to feed their families and do their job and have a job, they have to put stuff on tape. So you can't expect those guys who are, their whole livelihood is based on what I have on film, what I can show other teams that I can do, and say, look, don't go out there and do it too good because we don't want to win any games. It does not make sense to me, and it's not something I can root for. Okay, you take somebody like Trayvon Merrick, who may not be a Raider much longer, and he has to go find another team, whatever the Raiders end up doing with him. Like, how can you tell that man, look, don't be too good, don't go knock that pass down, don't go make that tackle because we need to lose these games so we can pick higher in the draft, when that man might not even be a part of our team next year? Like, think about that. They have to put stuff on film in order to continue to make money in this league. So how could I, as a grown man who has a family, who needs to feed a family, who needs to pay bills, say that man should risk paying his bills and having a family and having success for the sake of us having a better draft pick when we might not even make a good pick and he might not be here for the pick anyway. Like, so I'm not sitting here saying what the Raiders should do or what the Raiders shouldn't do. That's what y'all got to stop thinking about when I post stuff or when I say stuff. I'm not saying what the Raiders should and shouldn't do. I'm not saying the Raiders should tank or shouldn't tank. I'm saying I can't be mad at the fact that people are going out there and doing their jobs. Like, I can't be mad at that, period. Yes, it is a meaningless game. But all the games are meaningless unless you're going to win a Super Bowl. So the Raiders been playing meaningless games once we lost 4 or 5 games. So what I'm saying to you is that you got to have an open mind to that people are going to have opposite opinions of you. You got to stop telling people what they can say and what they can't say. So now because I posted, I can't be mad that the Raiders players are playing hard and the coaches are coaching hard. Somebody going to tell me, well, then don't say nothing about the team being ass in the future. I can say whatever I want to say, period. End of discussion. I can agree that players should be playing hard and players should be playing as hard as they can to try to win games. And I can also say, damn, the Raiders need to be better in the future. Because you can't sit there and tell me that the only way the Raiders can be good is by losing on purpose. Like, where do you come from to think that that's the only way you can be successful in competitive sports is to lose on purpose? I don't know if the Vikings was losing on purpose before they got Sam Darnold, right? I don't know if I don't know if the Commanders were losing on purpose. Sometimes your team is just not good enough. And whatever you are is what you are, and you have to do the right things to get to where you want to get to. You don't cut corners by trying to lose games on purpose. Yes, I agree. It would make things a lot easier, or it would make you think things are a lot easier if we just lost every game. The Raiders have been asked with top 2 and top 3 picks forever. So I'm not tripping off that. If there's a will, there's a way. If the Raiders as an organization want to be good, you went in there and got Telesky, you went in there and got Tom Brady, you go in there and get you a good coach, you go in there and get you a good offensive and defensive coordinator for the future, there's other ways to get it done than to just losing games on purpose. And I'm not going to sit here every Sunday wasting my time being mad at a bunch of grown men for doing their jobs. Period. It's just not going to happen. They get paid to do a job. They're trying to do their job. They might not even have next year. They might not have next game. It's not guaranteed when you're playing the NFL, when you're playing any sports, that you got another game. So how dare us tell them they shouldn't be playing that damn hard? And when you're telling them they should lose on purpose, you're indirectly saying, stop playing so hard. We need to lose this game. Tell me how that sounds. Get down in the comments, let me know what you think, man. If you like the video, like the video. You like the content on this channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, both at Raiderinfo. Let me go get some Dayquil. Let me go get the NyQuil. But until the next time, as always, Raiderinfo out.